Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back to the Uncle Sharma channel. How are you guys doing? Inter 5, Salernitana nil. These guys just keep on going. The train keeps on running. The Scudetto second star mission keeps on going in a beautiful, beautiful way. Limoncello ball we keep sipping. It's beautiful, tasty drink that we keep drinking this season. And thank you very much if anyone's coming in from Anthony's stream on Inter Worldwide, or if you were here already. Appreciate you all. And I'm going to get straight into the comments for the people that were here in the chat active already. How are you guys doing? And also let me know in the comments below who your man of the match was. We'll get into all of that. Because obviously, I know it's Salernitana boys, but why not? It's like we gotta always think we have to enjoy each one of these wins, because when you look back, each one of these wins will be important. Every single one of these 3 points will be important. So why not enjoy it? And let's talk about some stuff in here. Of course, that's what we're here to do. Imperious display once again is exactly, Benjamin. I always love that word because we really were imperious. Galia God better than Foltarov. Life is good here. And we're at the moment, we're just too good. We're definitely at the moment the best team in Italy. There was a point at the beginning of the season where I said AC Milan were the best team in Italy at that moment in time, but there's no doubting over the last month and a half, maybe 2 months, that Inter have been the best team in Italy, bar none. And now the table is there to show it. So we eating good. Eric G in the house. You seem like you're new to the channel, so welcome. What a performance. Dzeko extremely unselfish today. Yeah, Dzeko was very unselfish today. Great assist for the goal for Dumfries. And Dumfries almost a brick freeze type finish, because I mean he actually did quite well, because that was a potato field out there, that pitch in Salernitana, in Salerno. Awful pitch. I saw the players complaining a couple of times about the ball bouncing around a bit. I saw Barella looking down at a patch of grass at one point. So shouts out to the guys making it happen. And Dumfries, yeah, the finish looked a bit, not like, technical, but he hit it with his shin because it bounced up. So actually, in the end, he actually did quite well to get it on target. Eduardo in the house. What's up, hermano? If only Gagliardini played like that against all teams. He always plays well against these teams. Yeah, but we need players. We need players like this as well in the team. You have big match players, and you also have small match players. And Gagliardini is a small match player, and he does the job. As much as we like to make fun of him or criticize him, the guy delivers when he plays against these teams. So yeah, and then clearly he deserves to be coming on as a substitute more than the likes of Vecino and Sensi. Remember Sensi came on against Roma and he had not the same chance, but he had a similar chance and he skied it over the bar. Gagliardini took it. Hakan is really, I mean, if you're talking about on form, for sure, he's one of the in-form players in world football right now, for sure. There's no doubts about that, and that is unironically. And I did not imagine, I never expected Hakan to be in this type of form, and that credit goes to him for sure. It's getting acclimatized to the mezzala role so quickly, but also Inzaghi, he talked about turning Hakan into this left centre mid mezzala like he did with Luis Alberto, and he's doing it. The guy has got a knack for doing that with these attacking midfielders and being able to turn them into centre mids. Yeah, and this is what they're here exactly, Eduardo. They're here to be rotated in these games, and I was expecting, I know our predicted lineup was what we put out, but I was hoping for more rotation, to be honest. But Inzaghi feels like he needs to keep going with the strong lineups, and we can't. And fingers crossed at the moment we're not really being hit by any injuries, but I just hope that all these minutes for these guys don't start to catch up in the second half of the season. But at the same time, we've got the winter break coming up, so it's probably the last bit to just squeeze everything out of them and get everything. And yeah, well, Nicola, I know you're saying this because you're Serbian, but it was not nice for almost 95% of Inter fans. Was not nice to see Kolarov getting playing time, because the guy came on and made more mistakes than the whole team did in the 90 or 85 minutes before he came on. The guy is literally a part-time. He was playing like he was playing in my five-a-side league, like just chilling. This guy. I did not like what I saw from Kolarov as he came on. Tommy, hey, today pulled up early before the big win. I like it. Um, I thought people not really gonna turn up today because it's Salernitana. Usually, I see a drop off in viewership when it's these smaller games, like Spezia, Venezia, Salernitana. But I like it. I like it. Inter fans are turning up in numbers still, even though it's an expected easy win. But yeah, appreciate you guys all still turning up here to talk some Inter. Yeah, we can touch on the Eriksen. Today, Christian Eriksen, it was made official that his contract has been mutually cancelled from both sides, because we knew from the beginning. I said on this channel many times, people used to come on and say, don't have faith, Eriksen will play for Inter, don't worry. But I knew from the beginning Italy are very strict with their rules regarding devices, hard devices, things like that. It just wasn't never going to happen. And yeah, I think the right decision happened. Now Eriksen's free to go wherever he wants, which is rumored to be back in Denmark for his old club, Odense. And from what I know, so Inter are going to try. They're not getting it for sure, but they're gonna work with their insurance to try to get the full money back for the 28 million 27 million or something we paid Tottenham for Eriksen. So it was like 20 million plus the agent fees that would made it up to like 27, I believe. And his wages for the last since the incident happened were all covered, so financially really hasn't hit into but we'll see what happens with that. But good luck to Christian Eriksen, great servant, man. Like it was a pleasure to watch Eriksen play for my team. One of my favorite players before he joined Inter, and it was such a good turnaround story. And watch out in the next coming days, guys. I am going to do a video on the timeline of Christian Eriksen at Inter. So I'm going to do from the beginning to the troubles to the turnaround to the end. So I'm hoping to get that out this weekend. So keep a lookout for that on the channel. But yeah, Forza Christian Eriksen. Yeah, D'Ambrosio didn't pull for wrong today as usual. D'Ambrosio, Mr. Reliable. What more can you ask for, man? What more can you ask for? This is why I always feel like he deserves more minutes. I feel like Skriniar deserves more rest when this guy is there available behind him, especially in these types of games. Gagliardini, yeah, of course, Nick Knox. You gotta, as I said, you have these 2 or 3 matches a season where you can really enjoy being a Gagliardini fanboy. So it was, what was it, the Spezia match where the last time, he came and enjoyed when he scored. So now you can also once again come and enjoy your Gagliardini t-shirt. Hopefully you got it on right now. So yeah, enjoy, mate, enjoy. I know that Ribery loves football, but surely he can find it. But yeah, I was sad when I saw Ribery going to Salernitana. Like, this guy can still do the job for a mid-table team. Like, he was the only guy that was causing us trouble today. I think he was the only guy. He created the chance for Joel Obi that almost scored. Oh my god, if Joel Obi scored against Inter, like, that would have been so funny, and would have confirmed the curse of like the Inter ex-player scoring against Inter. But luckily it didn't happen. Shout out to Handanovic. That's the only thing he had to do, and he made it. Language still says Kolarov made 2 consecutive mistakes, one which led to a dangerous situation. I know he's important for the dressing room, but it's too risky to play him. I mean, but I know it's too risky to play him, but in this situation, like, you can play him. Like, you 4-0 up, 5-0 up. Like, this is where at some point you got to play him, like Bastoni and who was taking off Bastoni at the right one. They did some rest as well. Yeah, so it was. Oh, Perry came on for Perisic, yeah. So Bastoni came off for Di Marco, and then Perisic came off for Kolarov. So yeah, Perisic deserves some rest as well. And we don't have much option because Ranocchi is still injured, Darmian's still injured, so we don't really have another option apart from if you put Zanotti on again, the youngster. Oh, Hakan slander must be. Oh, bro, the Hakan slander has been halted for a while. Like, if you've been slandering Hakan for the last, I don't know, month or so, it's like since the derby, then I don't know what you're doing with your life, because this guy deserves zero slander in terms of his performances. Yeah, and I have been patient with Hakan, and I'm not gonna take claim to be the only guy. There's a few guys on that Hakan FC train, and I'm not gonna even claim to be the captain of that train. I'm just sometimes I jump on a train just because I feel like everyone's is slandering someone too much. And now I'll probably have to go on the other train for a little bit. I might have to go on to balance it out. I might have to be like, oh, Hakan maybe is not that good. Although saying that, I think once again Hakan man of the match for me. It's just like I don't know what else to say about this guy. He's so influential, and today he didn't score, but he had 2 assists, one from a corner kick, which are basically becoming like penalties since he's come to this club, and the second one, the assist to Alexis, beautiful first time assist, like open play as well. You know, people moaning about open play assist. Yeah, there you go. You got the open play assist as well, and yeah, as Manny Norm says, Hakan man of the match again. I'm not sure about the Alexis Dzeko partnership. That's one thing I was actually, I said in my preview that I wanted to see. That's the one partnership I haven't got to see properly from the beginning. And I'm not sure, once again, whether there was much link up. They were moaning at each other quite a lot. I saw they were like constantly arguing and bickering, like, oh, your through ball was long, or you should have done it here and there. Dzeko's assist was nice to Dumfries, but I don't really feel that Dzeko Alexis partnership too much, to be honest. And it was more on Dzeko's part today. I felt like Dzeko was a little bit off today. He didn't look sharp. Look at our goal difference compared to the rest of the league. Too good for Serie A. Let me load that up again. Sorry, guys, I can't load it up on screen. Still going through laptop issues. Still using this old ass laptop, but bear with me. So we've got 43 points. 48 goals for wow, man, we've got 48 goals, so that's 11 more than Atalanta, who are the second best. Like, we are clear attacking wise, and now we are second in best defense because we're 15. So we just got 2 goals to catch up on Napoli. Maybe Milan score those 2 goals tomorrow, or sorry, Sunday. 33 goal difference. Wow. 33 goal difference, and the next best is Napoli with 21. So we're 12 clear of goal difference from Napoli. That is absolute domination at the moment. I mean, I predicted that we wouldn't run away with this league this year for sure. But it also obviously depends on the pace the other guys keep. But at the moment, when you look at that table, only 1 loss this season, goal difference, top goal scorers, really good defensive stats. You're looking at a possible, once again, running away with the league if we keep up this type of form. But again, I think we'll calm down in form when it comes to that very difficult January, early February period before the Liverpool match. That will be a difficult period where I'm sure we'll drop a few points here and there, but so will the others. Compared to past season, we used to struggle so much against these teams. Seeing them play with true champions mentality is amazing. Exactly. And that's one thing I've been saying from early, since Inzaghi's come in. I have no fear now anymore of these small teams. In the past, weirdly, being Inter fans, we used to fear going away to these teams because we always used to fear some sort of pazza Inter performance where we just, I don't know, lose concentration or have some sort of, even though we didn't used to win things, but have this kind of arrogance for some reason that we can just kind of walk through these teams. But today we could have been arrogant, like the form that we've been in. And Inzaghi was asked about this after our last win. He was asked, "Are you afraid of potentially having or developing arrogance within the team about where you are?" And he said, "No, I have no fear of that within this team." And they're showing that these guys, every match, completely outrunning the team. Every time I look at the stats, we are outrunning the team, whether we're playing, the bottom teams or the top teams, always outrunning the team, just as we were under Conte. And these guys don't take the foot off the pedal. Like you think at halftime, 2-0 up, they started to relax. No, second half, 3 more goals. Like they could continue going, and it could have been even more. It could have been 6, 7. Just amazing. This is when you see the change of mentality in the team. Like, this is credit to Inzaghi, but also this is the effect from coming off a Scudetto winning campaign where these guys realized you can't start relaxing in any game, because creating good goal difference could end up helping us in the end. Creating, if you end up on a point differential by the end of the season or head to head, like every minor detail counts. And just keeping, good morale, good form, keep it going. Like, why would you want to stop it? So amazing. Interesting question there from Gerald. How much credit should Handanovic get for his 8 clean sheets? Of course, a goalkeeper always deserves credit for a clean sheet. But out of the 8, how many really big saves has Handanovic had to make, really? I don't really remember. Like today, he made a nice save on Joe Lobby to make sure he came out quickly to stop it, which is the only save he had to make today, and he made it. But it's just the all-round defensive solidity recently has meant that this guy hardly has faced any shots on goal. So he deserves credit as he still has to be rightly positioned and grab things and not drop them in front of people. That you always deserve that minimum credit of doing things the minimum right, as at least, and that's still being consistent. But has he been challenged? Probably not. Probably not. Yeah, Hakan just needed better players around him. We know he loves firing those indirects at Milan here whenever he can, like a rapper, like these rappers do, and I love it. I love it. His subliminal banter that he throws at Milan here and there. Is Hakan now world class? I always think he was. All he needed was great players around him. I don't know. I feel the world class tag he has to be, proven over at least a season with Hakan, as we keep talking about. It's the consistency. He did this at Milan. He went through a period, not maybe reaching these highs, but there was a period at Milan the last season when Milan went first. And you can ask Milan fans, the first 3 or 4 months between August, September, October, December, this guy was really, really good for Milan. Not to the level as he's playing right now at Inter, I'm saying, but he still was really good. And yeah, in the second half of the season, he just dropped off. And those 3 years before that, Hakan, he was very, very inconsistent. And he definitely has, technically, he has that ability. He's always had that very, good technical ability. So I'm definitely, I think the world class tag is thrown around a little bit too easily these days, but I'm going to wait until the end of the season. And yes, he's becoming a strong candidate for player of the season for now. I don't think he's front runner because he had that, obviously, that period of adaptation at the beginning, but the last 2 months he's definitely, he won player of the month last month from the Serie A, quite rightly, and he might even win it for this month as well, the way he's going. Yeah, Barella, another silly yellow card. He's gonna miss now the next match against Torino, which is, it's a shame, but also probably a good chance for Inzaghi to test out a midfield without Barella. And getting that rest, he can get that extra Christmas break with his family and his 3 kids. But yeah, he's still showing those little lapses of coolness that we always talk about with this guy. 5 different goal scorers. Oh yeah, you're right. Today, no one scored more than 1 goal. It was 5 different goal scorers. Very, very nice. Yeah, just the all-round threat from this team, which is what I love to see. Yeah, I don't like. Yeah, I mean, I think Conte. It was just last season, so I think it makes sense to compare directly because it's pretty much is the same team as well. But as I said, I really enjoy watching this team play football, and it wasn't always the case last season under Conte. It wasn't, and I just love watching this team play. I look forward to watching Inter this season for sure. I'm donating $100 if Barella managed to shoot a target. Oh man, yeah. Today he was also. There was one point where he should have shot, and he passed, and then a couple of times he shot way wide. But also, as I said, the pitch wasn't great today. There was a couple of bubbles. But yeah, that's still something that Barella has to add to his locker. But imagine if he just added that, and you'll be to the next level. Yeah, Mohammed, shouts out to Denzel today, man. Dumfries on fire today, like a train on that right hand side. Let me check his stats actually today. Let's see. So for score, he wasn't actually like too involved, and you can see that here, only 49 touches, but 1 key pass, 1 out of 1 accurate cross, 2 shots on target, 1 off target. Like he probably could have had 2 goals today, or even 3. Like he had 1 header from a corner, and then there was a great save from the goalkeeper from him in the first half. Won lots of aerial duels. Yeah, really good performance from Denzel. He's really growing into it, and you can see the teammates starting to trust him more and more. And that partnership with Sanchez, just how Hakimi was, is really developing for Denzel, and it's really good to see. Sad for Eriksen. Nick Knox says second favorite player at Inter in recent years after Skriniar. Proud to rep his jersey. Nice. So at least you've balanced out the Gagliardini jersey with some actual technical ability with the Eriksen. So shouts out to you. Kolarov touched 3 balls and sent Salernitana straight into our box twice. Exactly, Amadeo. Absolute joker of a player, this guy. But I guess he's the team mascot now. He's the guy that He's like, I guess, one of the coaches, I guess you could say. He's a player coach. Ahmad here with a hot take. Let's see if it is a hot take. Inter should invest in a sports psychologist if they don't have one already. I've been noticing for a while how the players shout at each other a lot with every misplaced pass or so. I don't know. What does the sports psychologist have to say about that? That's just normal of football, man. Like when you play football, even when you play, five-a-side, that's I think you probably notice more because you watched Inter on a close basis. Like you watch Inter every single minute. But I'm sure when you look at, other teams, you'll see it. It's completely part of football. You see, there's some guys that definitely do it more than the others. We've got Barella and Brozovic. We know are you know, the drama queens of the team. But today you saw Dzeko was like extra, like moany today as well. I think this is complete normal. And that's not the work of a sports psychologist. That's like something a mom would do, or like something a dad would say, like, "Oh, stop moaning, mate." Sports psychologist is more like trying to get into the game frame of mind, or how to achieve the best performance from yourself. Like I don't know if that's what a sports psychologist would do, or it would like do team building exercises. Like offices like to do that, going on those like team trips or something to try build team chemistry. But I think this team has a lot of chemistry. Can't believe Alao Bila needs to convince you that Hakan isn't world class. Hey man, I always said like you gotta listen to the guys. They've watched Hakan for 4 years, and of course, there's also you gotta have. They've also got a lot of salt when it comes to the Hakan. But at the end of the day, I'm still fearing Hakan to revert to his usual issues of having inconsistencies in the second half of the season. So I'm gonna wait until, as I said, until I jump on that world class train with the Hakan. But at the moment, he's in world class form. There's no doubts about that. Oh yeah, I mean Alexis every single time, Tommy. It's so it must be such a headache being Inzaghi when Alexis is fit and when Correa comes back. Like, how do you pick our like we've given him such good option, like our striking options are so much better than last year. Like we knew last year it was Lukaku and Lautaro, and of course Sanchez coming in between those two, and then there was that say. But now it's such a headache for Inzaghi. Like, and Alexis keeps making it more difficult. Like his goals per minute and assist per minute ratio is so good, and as we know, his the only issue with with Alexis is the salary. There's no other, and the injuries. There's two issues with Alexis. That's it. On an ability level, on a technical level, this guy. If you tell me that Alexis isn't good enough for Inter, I I would say you don't know ball, or I would have to have a serious conversation with you, because this guy is still one of the top technical players in the league. And yeah, like he still makes a lot of mistakes in the game. Like a lot of times he gets passes wrong, or he takes too long. But some of the stuff that he manages to create, no one else is able to do it in this team, and not many able to do it in this league. Hakan plays in a different role. He drops more into space, where at Milan he was more intercortista. Yeah, exactly. That's why he needed a little bit of time as well, to adapt to this new role. So fair play to him. And Inzaghi, as I said, really enjoying this confidence on the ball by the team. Yeah, man. Like this team, the way, like we keep a lot of possession, but it doesn't feel like empty possession a lot of times. It's just like you move from left, you move the team from right to the left, and even when we go back to the keeper, they do that on purpose because they're trying to invite Salernitana, like, come and press us and give us a bit of space, and then they punish you as soon as you give them a bit of space. That's it. And with Dumfries, we're actually finding that threat in behind as well now. Finally, of course we miss Hakimi and Lukaku's pace, but with Dumfries, I would be very inclined to start Dumfries against Liverpool. I know it's too early to talk about that, but I do like that counter-attacking ability that Dumfries is starting to provide now, because his team is starting to understand him more. And so you saw him today. Dumfries was in so many, like he was in so many positions, like almost as a striker at times today. Like he was so high up at some points, and that's how he should be used, because he really is a threat in the box. My man of the match, Palm asks, yeah, Hakan today. As I said, 2 assists, one from a corner, one from open play. But in general, he's just too influential at the moment. He's just, passing wise, always keeps the ball, always seems to make the right decision most of the time. He's just complete. He's becoming really, really a complete player. But also Dumfries deserves a shout out for sure. Brozovic has always deserved a shout out. D'Ambrosio, um, just all around is a great team performance today. One pairing left to see. Yeah, we see Sanchez Correa is one that we've seen as a substitute a few times, but that's true. That would be really interesting. Like almost having two false nines. Probably none of them wants to get into the box, so we'll have to force the centre mids and the wing backs to go into the box when those two are playing. But yeah, that's true. That's probably the one partnership we haven't seen from the beginning, and that would be interesting to see at one point as well. Maybe in a Coppa Italia match, just to see. Could be interesting. Of course, we lose a lot of goal threat like that, but I do want to see that. It does intrigue me. What's it gonna take for Dumfries to crack a smile? I don't know, man. The guy is that's how he is, man. Same, with Brozovic is the same. It takes a lot to crack a smile out of Brozovic. He's always like, With Dumfries is always the serious face. Could Eriksen play in Italy for a European competition? What do you mean? As in, like, for Inter? No, he can't. He's the Italian committee. Oh, you mean as in, like, if he goes to like Ajax and he comes to play to an Italian team? Yeah, he can play, but he's not allowed to play in the Italian league, like under the Italian Olympic Committee rules. Yeah, he can play. Like, if he comes to Italy, he's allowed to play. He's just not allowed to play within the Italian system. The team seems more agile with Sanchez, regardless of teams he started against. 3-3-6-1. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing that we've said, even with Correa as well. It's that, and I think that's when Hakan thrives the best as well, when he has someone like Correa or Sanchez coming a little bit deeper or drifting out to the left hand side to combine with him, give him that option. I said, I know that technically or in theory, our best front two, I'll keep saying it, the best front two strikers is Lautaro and Dzeko, but I don't think that until now that has proven to be the best for Inter as a team. But again, I'll keep saying, if it's a final, if it's like, the Champions League final or like a Coppa Italia final tomorrow, and you tell me who I want to start, I'll start Lautaro and Dzeko because they're our two gunmen. But I think we do need a Correa or a Sanchez in this team at the moment to get the best out of this team. I feel like that's when we play our best football. So yeah, I agree. You guys even think Eriksen should be playing still? Well, that's up to him. That's not up for us to decide. If the doctors have given him the all clear that he's able to do it, and like Daily Blind is still playing, other players are not playing, it's up to him. It's not up to us to decide. Lukaku and Hakimi miss Inter more than Inter misses them. Yeah, probably is true. I mean, the narrative has changed from the start of the season, hasn't it? Hakimi started off with a bang at the beginning, and now he hasn't scored or assisted for a while. Lukaku started off with a bang, and then he got injured, and then now he's getting the Lukaku shouts again, and not really thriving. And yeah, even Conte, maybe I don't know. I don't know what Conte must be feeling like. Did he really think that this Inter team wouldn't be able to stay in first place? I don't know. It's a weird one. RDP said he had lower expectation this season, but man, they proved me wrong. Even if we don't win the Scudetto this season, we absolutely 100%. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, whatever happens this season, we have a very entertaining team, and as Interisti, we can't say that too often with Inter. Over the years, this has not been a very entertaining team. Like, in his histories, we always thrive with terrorism and defensive football, solidity first. But football in general is moving away from that, and that's why you see people like Allegri struggling, Mourinho struggling a little bit. Like, football is kind of moving away from that. You need, if you're a big team, you need to be dominating game. You need to be taking the game to other teams, and that's what this Inzaghi team is doing. Dumfries' press resisting ability will come handy versus Liverpool when he makes direct runs. Yeah, exactly, those direct runs. I don't know about his press resistance. But yeah, his direct running ability off the ball. Darmian's able to make those runs as well, but obviously he doesn't have that power and that pace actually to make those longer balls and actually create something out of those. So yeah, I mean, Dumfries can definitely Depending on how long Darmian is out, he can make a strong claim to make that right wing back spot his now. Like, you could say he got lucky now that Darmian got injured, but he's taking his chance well. Are we peaking too early with Liverpool? Still months away. Wish we could play them now. Yeah, I wish we could play them now. But we'll see. That this is where Inzaghi will earn his money in that period, end of January, start of February period. Let's see how much he rotates in that period. Let's see if he can get this team peaking at the right time, as you could say. But even last year, like once we started going on that run last year, once Conte figured out his team by the end of November, December, like after that, after January, we were just like on a run. So this could be just the start of our run that goes on to the end of the season. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be for a short period. Hakan can assist you with anything in life. And the Ozil vibe, Mesut Ozil at Arsenal in the first couple of seasons vibes. Don't worry, Conte got his money. Don't worry, he's not worried. I'm sure he's not worried. But I'm just saying, like, how I'm just trying to understand what he must be feeling like. Seeing how much of a big task he has at hand at Spurs. But I'm sure, his pockets are very deep. I think February will define our season. Yeah, I think February will be the most important month of the season. That's when we find out what this team is made of. Like this past November was when we had all the big matches. And we found out that this team is the real deal when it comes to Serie A. Then we'll find out the real deal when all those close encounters are in a short period, and we'll find out where are this Inter team compared to the elites in Europe, which is Liverpool. So we'll see exactly where Inter are, and it'll be interesting to see where we are. End of January, whole of February, yeah, exactly, Mustafa. It's a make or break for Inter, and we'll see if we can handle this pressure. But yeah, guys, the one other thing, I know I mentioned it already, but the fact that this Inter team, and this is also credit to Conte as well, 100+ goals in a calendar year. Amazing. Going back to like how good this team is to watch and how entertaining it is, even under Conte, and now even more under Inzaghi. It's just beautiful. Like, and this is still room for improvement. I mean, we are always here after every single match saying that we should be scoring more. We are wasteful. Lautaro should score more. Dzeko should score more. I mean, Dzeko missed the absolute sitter today. Like, it was an open goal on a header. And imagine if we actually become more efficient with this team. Like, the sky really is the limit. Like, we could really, have something special on our hands. But it's just, if only Suning didn't hit these financial difficulties in the last couple of years, if only COVID didn't strike us so badly, we'll be able to make those, extra little investments to take us to the next level. We're so close. We're possibly so close to being, able to challenge the top European elite teams. Well, we'll find out. But in my opinion, we are close. We just need just a few pieces here and there to really be back, to be a respectable European team again. What is my minimum expectation for Inter team this season? At least a trophy. It has to be a trophy, whether it's a Coppa Italia. I don't have any expectation from the Champions League. Even if we go Ajax, the fact that we got to the round of 16, that they've met my expectation. But now you have to bring the Scudetto home. That's the priority. And first we've got the Super Coppa in January. That's our first possible trophy win of the season. And if we can get that under our belt, that's already great. But that's not our expectation. My expectation is the Scudetto. But if we can get, a double with the Coppa Italia or a Super Coppa, or even the treble, but I think that I don't expect a treble or a double. I expect at least one trophy on the table, and the one that I won is the Scudetto. I won the second star. I don't care about the other ones. Those could possibly be, consolation trophies, but that's also, showing that Inter now is, even if you win one of those trophies, the fact that Inter now, a bad or like a disappointing season for Inter is a Coppa Italia or a Super Coppa. Like, we're winning a trophy even on a disappointing season. But as I've said, from the beginning of the season, since after the Mercato finished, I predicted us to win the Scudetto. I was a little bit more harsh with my prediction at the beginning because we hadn't finished the mercato and I wasn't happy with how some things happened. But yeah, Scudetto. I don't know if we need Raspadori, if Sanchez and Correa fit enough. Yeah, exactly. There's no space for Raspadori in this team if those two are there, because he's definitely more of a second striker than a striker, and then there's no space. But we'll have to see what happens with Sanchez's contract. He definitely earns way too much. It depends if he's able to cut it down. If we're more efficient by the Liverpool match, I'd say we're about 40% chance right now. I have it 30. Yeah. I mean, if we're more efficient, I would, because the efficiency is a small bit, but it's a massive difference. Like if we start to get more efficient, then we're actually gonna get closer to 50%. But yeah, right now I'd say as well like 30%. That's where I see is. At least till next. Oh yeah, going back to your Raspadori comment. Yeah, it depends. It depends on what happens in the summer. If Sanchez and Correa are still there, then you don't need Raspadori, and then you just clogging up the numbers up front. But if Sanchez is looking to leave, as is pretty much reported, and if he's not going to reduce his salary, then yeah, there's no point bringing in someone like Raspadori. Kester says he missed the game. You missed it. You definitely go and rewatch it, bro. 5-0, trouncing. Everyone was beautiful. Man of the match for me, Hakan once again. Make sure you go watch the match because it's as Limone ball has been this season, is beautiful to watch. It looks like Vecino. Yeah, Vecino. I think Vecino must have seen that this is the end of my time at Inter. Vecino, he's been talking about it for a while, that he's unhappy with his playing time. Today, he saw Vidal coming on instead of him. He saw Gagliardini coming on instead of him. He didn't even get charity minutes. I think today, Salernitana, 17th of December, is the day that Vecino calls up his agent and says, find me a club in January. I'm out of here. And it's fair enough. He deserves more minutes, but he just can't get them here. We're numerically in midfield. We are well placed. The Supercoppa is important this season. Nick Knox says, I don't want to see Juve lift it. And I think, yeah, that's the most important thing about the Supercoppa. I've seen people even potentially say that, you maybe just rotate in that one because we're playing the Supercoppa just before that super busy, important period. And but the fact that you're playing against Juve, I think if you were playing against, Lazio, Roma, Napoli, I think you could have said that if you lose it, it's not too bad of a deal. But the fact that it's Juve, it's the Derby d'Italia once again. You don't want to see Juve win it for sure. You want to continue to see them suffering this season. It's the first trophy on the line. In Italy, it's considered more important because this is the equivalent of, the Community Shield in England, or, those pre-season friendlies, that kind of trophies. But because we play the Supercoppa in the middle of the season, it kind of counts as an actual trophy in Italy. It has a little bit more weight to it. So I think it is important that we get that. And Inzaghi has proven in the past that, he's won it against Juve in the past. And Inter should let Stadium say farewell to Eriksen. Yeah, I've heard that from the rumors that Eriksen will be back at the San Siro at one point at the Meazza to have a little farewell, and he definitely deserves that. I want to see that happen, man. It'd be a beautiful, beautiful thing to see Eriksen receive. I'm sure he's already received lots of love from the fans, but receive it, all at once in the stadium, and for us to see it from home, it would just be a beautiful moment. Yeah, Vecino was good at the start of the season though, but it's just we're so stacked in the middle. It's just that kind of thing. Clearly, as we know from the beginning, he liked Gagliardini at Lazio because he asked for Gagliardini at Lazio, so he already has a preference for Gagliardini. The midfield three is already decided: Gagliardini, Barella, Brozovic, and Hakan. Then after that, it looked like it was Vidal was the first substitute at one point. And then Vecino was also playing because Gagliardini was injured for a little bit at the beginning of the season, so that was also a factor. Gagliardini, there was a period where he was injured for a couple of 2 or 3 weeks, and that's where Vecino got the playing time. So I think that explains the your question there, Nick Knox. I don't know. It's just you must like his. I think Gagliardini does a good tactical job. He knows where to be, and does he's more disciplined. Vecino is quite a chaotic player. I've always said this. He's good, especially remember the Atalanta game. You can throw him on in the second half of a game if you're trying to chase. He's good in the air. He's got very good timing getting into the box. He's got a knack of goal scoring as well, like Gagliardini. He's able to carry the ball a bit more than Gagliardini, but he's a little bit chaotic. I would say he's a little bit neater technically than Gagliardini, but he's not very reliable, just like Gagliardini technically. I think Gagliardini just offers him more assurances and discipline wise. Defensively, I think Vecino as well. Defensively, sometimes a little bit. We saw against Real Madrid, he let Camavinga run off him for that goal for Rodrigo in the first leg. I think he can switch off a little bit. Gagliardini is quite switched on more defensively. I think it's just one of those things, the coaches, they all like us, they all have their preferences, and clearly he prefers Gagliardini over Vecino. Yeah, exactly, Costas. Vecino's more of an off the ball, box to box player. Sometimes can also, do runs like carrying the ball, but now with his advancing age, and he's had a few injuries over the last couple of seasons as well, he seems to have lost a little bit of those long strides that he used to offer. Like he used to have those runs from midfield sometimes that I was like, whoa, very impressive. But he doesn't offer that anymore. So it's a shame. I like Vecino, but he definitely needs to move now. Yeah, exactly. No, we like to make fun of them, but he's a reliable guy. He's a reliable guy. My problem with Gagliardini is only when he's played in the big matches, and there you see his level is just not up to standard. Like the Europa League final, like when he plays against big teams, it's just the level is just not there. But when you're playing against mid-table, lower table team, he's completely reliable. If not, usually, yeah, as we know, he's probably like one of the best players on the pitch. Yeah, exactly, Nick. No, yeah, no, you're a Gagliardini fan. You're not being delusional. You wouldn't want to play him in the Champions League. Yeah, like I don't want to see him against Liverpool. Like I love, like all respect to Gagliardini, but I do not want to see him up against Fabinho, Thiago, Henderson. Like I don't want to see him up against that midfield for sure. But yeah, guys, 42 minutes gone. Thank you very much for joining me today. I was not expecting these numbers. 63 people here. Make sure every single one of you is leaving a thumbs up to the stream, and make sure you're subscribing to the channel if you're new to the channel. 5-0, 100 plus goals in the calendar year. Beautiful, beautiful football. Limoncello ball. We're drinking, we're eating good. Ciao ragazzi, forza Inter.